I refused makeup, yeah, and a woman looked at me and was like, screenshot face, and I was like, I've done a hair care routine and a face care routine, allow it. And she just put some anti-shine on me, but she was not happy, bro. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what go on? We're back. It's a beautiful Sunday in Edmonton. Today we are making OKONOMIYAKI, which is a Japanese savory pancake. Piece of piss, basically. You've got to make a batter and put some bits in and fry it and then garnish it. It's wet, it's windy. Just a solid breakfast, solid lunch, or a solid dinner, depending on what time of the day it is. I feel like it's one of those dishes that you've got all of this shit in your house, and there's a few bits you might have to buy, but the essentials and the basics should be in your store cupboard. So let's talk about batter, right? In here, 5 tablespoons of bog standard plain flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 tablespoon of corn flour. That's our dry mix, right? So from there, we're gonna add eggs into it. So it's like a omelette-y, pancakey vibe, right? So it's like an omelette-y, pancakey vibe. So we're gonna crack 4 eggs. I don't know about you, yeah, but I tried to buy eggs in 2 different supermarkets. You can't buy eggs no more. Can't buy tomatoes. Blame Brexit. Which we're just gonna whisk. I don't want to put the egg straight into the flour because I'll be there ages trying to fucking mix it through. So just pre-whisk these. Oh, I'm gonna crumb. All right, cool. Eggs are whisked, yeah? Just gonna leave this here and hope it doesn't fall. Stay my brethren. Right, so the bits that are in our pancake that are gonna flavor it are bean sprouts that we have to do nothing to, yeah? A cabbage, some defrosted chopped prawns, and a couple spring onions. Whites go into the batter, greens we're gonna save to garnish, right? So, this cabbage, I just like to take the first couple layers off, and then what we're gonna do, sharp knife, I like to, traditionally it's quite thick. I like to go thin on it because I like to like when you cut it, it pulls apart, you get a little bit of cabbage, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't want it all to be clumpy. Now, this recipe is gonna make one big okonomiyaki, right? It's gonna make one big pancake, which I reckon will feed, it's quite dense. I reckon it'll feed 3 to 4, yeah? So look, cabbage is done. I just wanna hit this with a little bit of salt, just so that we can draw out any moisture. The cabbage, once it cooks, has the ability to piss out all of its cabbagey water, which then means that our batter, once we've got it to the right consistency, if this starts to piss, we're now watery and loose, and it's gonna make our life ball ache, right? So, just gonna run some salt through it, give it a scrunch, give it a squeeze, and it will start to release moisture, right? Already it's starting to feel wet. And I know I was anal about cutting it fine, and now we're scrunching our hands for it, so we're making it smaller. But we don't want the liquid in our okonomiyaki, yeah? So look, you can already see this juice? That isn't what we want in our pancake, right? So I've run the salt through it. What I'm then gonna do, I'm gonna bang it in this new Cyprus tea towel my cousin got me from Cyprus. Thank you, Nez. Thank you. I appreciate it. That my dad's brought back. And we're just gonna bang this cabbage into here. And like you can see the moisture on this board, right? That isn't what we want. So, cabbage goes into the tea towel. And then we're just gonna wring anything out of it. And like, it's surprising how much moisture vegetables carry. But you can imagine, I'd say that was like fucking 4 tablespoons of water, right? Probably more. And that's just gonna dilute our pancake. And we spent all that time making it fucking great. We don't want that. So we've got our ringed cabbage. Then we're gonna slice up 2 spring onions. So take the tops off, cut them to just whereabouts they go green, leave the greens for later. And then we're gonna peel these back, right? Now again, everything carries moisture. We're not gonna bother wringing this shit out because the one thing that carries the most water we've already done, the cabbage. Because it just, we want it to keep its crunch and firmness, right? We want the cabbage to be a texture as well as a flavour. And like I said right at the top, this is all shit you got knocking about. Made a coleslaw once. I always find spring onions fucking knocking around in my fridge, like, use me, bro. And here you go. So, finally slice these into rings. Casual rings, yeah? Casual. I can go over here with those. Prawns, I buy them frozen from Long Fong. Oh shit, slippery bastards. I buy them frozen, defrost them. These are deshelled, deveined. Bag costs about a tenner. Just good to pull out and have in your freezer. That is very much it, ladies and gentlemen. We're now gonna go back to our dry mix. So, eggs goes into like this. And this is gonna make like a fucking pancake consistency, right? Essentially what we are doing is making a savoury pancake. And it's gonna get to a point where it tightens, yeah? So look, it's completely tight now, right? If we were to put this in as is, there'd be no puff, there'd be no like fucking beautifulness. It'd be dense and unhappy, right? So what we're gonna do is cut this with a little bit of sparkling water, just to loosen it first, right? And I like the sparkling water because traditionally you could use like water or dashi, but I feel like sparkling water gives it a little extra. It starts to work with the baking powder and the corn flour. Right? That's our batter. That's the consistency we're looking for, yeah? Slow dribble, slow drips. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredients to this and we're gonna see if our fucking batter changes, and if it doesn't, great, and if it does, we'll tweak it. Cabbage and spring onions in. Like so. Bean sprouts also in. Prawns inside as well. And then we're going to give this a hefty season, right? So I'm going to go 2 big cracks of Maldon sea salt, maybe a little extra, 2.5, and a nice sprinkling of white pepper. Now I'm using white pepper because I quite like the background vibe that it gives, and also I don't want little black bits floating through our pancake, right? So mix this together. And look, it's tight, but everything's incorporated. We're going to make sure that we've mixed through all of our stuff. And now, it's like a loose hold, right? It's holding, but it's still got drippy bits. Got a whisk full of cabbage is a sentence that you don't say often. But I'm going to go little tiny splunk. This is a splunk, yeah, look. Splunk. Just to loosen it. And that there is the batter for our okonomiyaki, yeah? And at this point, I'm gonna get this pan on, and we're gonna basically treat it like making a fucking pancake, yeah? All we're doing is making a pancake, but we've put savoury stuff in it. There's no like, Nutella or like fucking caster sugar and lemon juice. It's a pancake, but different. Don't want a fucking smoking hot pan. Unfortunately, this thing only does hot, hot and hotter. So gonna have to be vigilant with it and make sure that we don't fucking burn it. good non-stick pan is essential. Don't make this with a fucking shit pan and then be like, it didn't work. Buy a non-stick pan, bro. Good glug of neutral oil, yeah? Vegetable, sunflower, whatever. We're just gonna warm this through, make sure we've covered the entirety of the pan, yeah? Oil's hot. We're gonna plonk our batter in, yeah? And as I'm doing it, I'm flattening it. I want it to be somewhat equal. I don't want any fucking bits that are heavier than others. And already I can see, look, if I lift this a little, you can see how it's forming the base underneath, right? Look, you see how it's coming away together? It means the bottom part is forming, right? And that's our eggs. Our eggs are almost treating this as if it was an omelette. So our eggs are gonna catch color, caramelize, and it's just gonna allow our top bits to like stew. And I know I've got raw prawn in here, and the cabbage is raw, and the bean sprouts are raw, but we're looking 5 minutes each side. By the time we've cut it, it's gonna rest. The prawns, it won't be raw, I promise you. I've cooked it before, yeah? Trust me. How many times have I let you down? Never. Not once. Now, I'm just gonna stop fingering this now and wash my hand. So look, I'm just gonna tuck in the sides, making sure that it's all flat. Just for even cooking coverage. And just because it makes it look pretty. We've established our base, right? What we don't want to do now is fucking burn the bottom of this. So, can I show you this, Jules? Look. See the colour we're getting on it? It's nice, it's crispy, right? Now, because this thing's permanently on hot, I'm going to turn it down ever so slightly. We don't want to rush this. We don't want to fucking burn our presentation side. Don't want to burn anything. But like a real pancake, as soon as these little air pockets start to form, it's telling us that the bottom bit is crispy. Nothing's allowed to travel through it, so it's pushing upwards. That's what's steaming and fucking creating and cooking our insides. It's cooking from the bumperclaw inside out, you get me? So keep an eyes on it. Keep an eyes on it, yeah? Now, I know there's a lot of you that are like, flip it, ass! No way, bro. This thing weighs the same amount as a child. Can't flip that. We have to be fucking careful with how we flip this. Let me show you the fucking cheeky bit. I want to see the cheeky bit. I'll show you the cheekiest part, yeah? Smoked, proper, thick cut, streaky bacon, yeah? We're gonna lay this. Oh, looks like there, man. We're gonna make like a little patchwork quilt of beautiful smoky bacon, and then when we flip this, that bacon's gonna render into our pan. The rest of our pancake's gonna cook in fucking bacony goodness, and you're gonna be taken to Pleasureville, yeah? If you don't eat bacon, use turkey bacon. Bacon's also optional. Use whatever you fucking want. I like bacon. Bacon is my, what's that kid said? Bacon is, no, chicken nuggets is my family. Squeeze one more in, because why the fuck not, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, wow. Wow. A little bit of oil. And then back in. I might have been overzealous and lost a few bits of bacon, but it'll be fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. Basically, all we're looking to do now is cook it the same way we cook one side on the other, right? So look, I can start to feel that there's a bounce to our pancake. It's not loose, it's not wet. Ow! If I were to poke a hole in it now, there'll be nothing oozing. At this point, we want to add okonomiyaki sauce. Yeah, I bought this from Longfong. You can get it from you can get it in most supermarkets now. Actually, it comes in a nice packet. If you can't get this, use Bulldog or use takoyaki. But okonomiyaki sauce essential. Now, we're not going to be shy with this. It's like a sweet but savoury barbecue. I think it might actually have dates in it as well. And we're just going to add this to this now. And then this will start to catch in the bottom of the pan and start to caramelise with our bacon fat. Now there's sugars in this okonomiyaki sauce, right? So we don't want to leave this in the pan too long. This is a last minute stage. Once you start to smell the smoky bacon vibe and you press it and it's got a bounce and a give, then we're looking at adding our glaze in, right? I've got to do something really dangerous now. I've got to get it out without burning myself with really hot fucking barbecue sauce. I'll see you lot in hell. Oh, look at that. Get the rest of this sauce back on. Give it another bit. And now from here, heat off. Yeah? Let's get this onto here without breaking it. Delicious. Legit. Gonna chop loads of things that are probably gonna fly away, so bear with me. Here, really thinly sliced spring onion greens. I've got a little box. I've always got seaweed snacks at home, right? I've got a little box of seaweed that I'm just gonna fucking, as soon as I open that box of seaweed, the wind was just like, you know what, fuck you, Hass. Just gonna chiffonade this, nice and thin. Nice. I've got some store-bought pink pickled ginger. This is like sushi ginger that we're just gonna plonk on here. This is like contrast colour. We've got a big dense pancake and we want a little bit of like pickly vibe, palate change. And then let's hit this bitch with some Kewpie. So Kewpie is a Japanese mayo, quite sweet. It's like the new sriracha of hot sauce. Everyone's got Kewpie. Oh, Kewpie, can I have Kewpie mayo, please? I'm using Japanese mayo because it's a Japanese dish. If you want to use Hellmann's, use Hellmann's, fam. Star-shaped decanter? What? Anyway, consistent pour of Kewpie, yeah? Ready? Motherfucking Kewpie, yeah? Then we're gonna go another colour break with some spring onions. And here, some katsuobushi, yeah? This is like dried and smoked bonito flake. Bonito is like the member of the tuna family. And these, when you put them on hot food, go, oh, like they're alive, yeah? But they give you like that sea vibe. They're gonna bring out the flavour of the prawn. All makes sense. So we're gonna go big plonk of bonito on top, right? Look at them moving, it's like they're fucking alive, bruv. Don't be shy with it. And then last bit of flavouring is just some seaweed. Again, little colour change, little contrast. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make okonomiyaki, or Japanese prawn and bacon pancake. Okonomiyaki. Just gonna portion it. Like butter. Portion it like a pizza. You don't want big fat slabs of this, yeah? Cabbagey, prawny, smoky bacon, sweet sauce, cuts from QP, little like, hey, sushi pickle, it fucking delicious. It's just yum, like, my middle's ever so slightly loose still, but it's giving off like that, you know, that French omelette vibe where it's like, you know that, France. There's so many different things going on. You've got like texture and bounce from the pancakes itself, salt, white pepper running through it, little bites of cabbage and bean sprout, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, I got a prawn, or that bit I had just had bacon on, or there was more mayo on this bit, there was sweet barbecue sauce on that bit. It's just like, but in the best way possible. Yeah, man, this is an absolute banger. Make this at home. Oh, look at it. Look at it, man. I want a bit with ginger on. You can find all these sauces, just use the internet to find them. And what, it's taken us 15 minutes? You don't have to make a fuck off one this big. You can make the batter, have one for breakfast, leave the batter in the fridge, make another one for dinner or the next day. The longer it sits, the better it gets. If you're scared of flipping it the way that I flipped it, stick it underneath the grill until that part solidifies, then flip it. Where we're outside, I don't really have the means to do that, so I've got a lovely burn on my hand. But when it's this good at the end, what's a little burn, bro? Do you get me? Just burn your hand once in a while, man. And if you're a child watching this, do it under supervision. If you're a child doing this, do this under supervision of an adult. But thank you, okonomiyaki in the rain. Big up you lot. Bow. Imagine the first time I had one was in Brixton.
Top House Films.
Can you say films?
Film.
Films.
Films.